Steer clear of these 7 fish at all costs. You've probably heard about the wonderful and miraculous nutritional worth of fish, but have you ever questioned whether fish really are so good? It's possible that no one has informed you about certain fish species that can worsen your health, in particular by containing toxic substances. Today we'll discuss a crucial subject: the top 7 fish species you should stay away from in order to save your health. Were you aware that eating specific kinds of fish might cause major health issues? Imagine yourself in this situation. You're cooking at home and searching for ingredients you can trust. But what if some of those ingredients, especially those foods you believe to be high in nutrients, were actually harmful? So please come along and explore this video with us to learn more, as well as to get some helpful advice on choosing foods. Some might even surprise you because they're essential components of many dishes. Therefore, stay to prevent regrets in the future. First though, I kindly ask you to like the video and subscribe to this channel. It is very important for us. Thank you very much. Squid is the first class of fish that we will discuss. Scientifically referred to as cephalopods, squids are amazing aquatic animals that are members of the mollusk family. They have 10 limbs, big eyes, and a peculiarly elongated body. However, the amounts of heavy metals, particularly cadmium, in this delectable dish are incredibly high. Cadmium is a dangerous heavy metal that can build up in squid tissue and pose a major risk to health, including damage to the liver and kidneys. Squid's environment and nutrition can result in much greater levels of heavy metals than other seafood varieties, which only contain trace amounts. For instance, squid may contain up to 2.55 millimoles of cadmium per kilogram, which is much more than what is considered acceptable for human consumption, according to one study. Squids are dangerous because, particularly in contaminated waterways, they can behave as bioaccumulators of heavy metals. This implies that individuals can accumulate more toxins in their systems the longer they live. Additionally, the ink from squid, which is frequently used in recipes like squid pasta, contains substances like melanin and dopamine, which can be both detrimental and useful. Even while squid ink's melanin has antioxidant qualities, if it's not produced correctly, it may bond to heavy metals and raise the danger of cadmium exposure. It is imperative to adhere to specific standards in order to reduce the potential health concerns related with ink intake. In order to lower the chance of coming into contact with heavy metals, it is firstly crucial to source ink from pure, unpolluted waterways. When buying ink, seek out inks that have undergone heavy metal content testing and have been confirmed safe. Additionally, restrict intake to prevent any possible toxicity. Adults should not take more than 0.5 millimoles of cadmium per week, according to FDA recommendations. So even tiny doses of high cadmium ink can easily exceed this limit. Reducing hazards can also be achieved by fully boiling the squid and avoiding touching it uncooked. Squid's high cholesterol level is another thing to take into account, particularly for those who have heart issues. To keep your heart healthy, it's a good idea to balance your squid consumption with other low-cholesterol foods. Furthermore, have you ever considered which other fish could be less suitable for your diet due to the possibility of these hazards? Escolar fish. The species of escolar fish, popularly referred to as oil fish, is typically found in temperate and tropical waters. Scientifically speaking, it is noteworthy for having large concentrations of wax esters, which are compounds that the human body finds difficult to digest. Unlike other fish, escolar can cause digestive issues because of these wax esters, which can result in flooding, an illness that causes oily diarrhea. The heightened sensitivity of older people's digestive systems makes this particularly concerning. For example, consuming just 150 grams of escolar can be extremely dangerous to one's health because it can result in serious stomach problems in a matter of hours. Additionally, dangerous bacteria and parasites that might exacerbate health issues can be found in escolar, particularly in elderly persons whose immune systems are already compromised. Although fish is delicious because of its high oil content, it also serves as a breeding ground for germs that can cause food poisoning, including Vibrio and Salmonella. According to one study, 10% of escolar samples included this bacteria, making it a dangerous option for those with weakened immune systems. In addition, Many confuse escolar for safer options like white tuna due to its misleading appearance as a white-scaled fish. The selling of escolar has been outlawed in a number of nations, including Italy and Japan, because of the potential health hazards. Though it has a delicious flavor, this fish should be handled carefully because it can lead to significant bacterial infections and stomach issues. Eating escolar in moderation is necessary to reduce the health concerns linked with it. Ideally, a dish should contain less than 100 grams. This restricted consumption lessens the chance of encountering the disagreeable impacts of wax esters on the digestive system. Additionally, make sure the fish is cooked through, as high temperatures have the power to eradicate any potentially dangerous bacteria or parasites. It is advisable to steer clear of escolar completely and instead choose safer fish like salmon or tilapia if you are elderly or have a compromised immune system. Buying seafood from reliable providers can greatly lower the chance of contamination, so always check the source. You probably don't need to make many compromises because, despite the fact that escolar has a high protein content, 15 grams per 100 grams meal, the possible health dangers exceed the advantages. Speaking of seafood, have you ever pondered which well-known species is frequently used in sushi and also has a high risk to your health? Number 2. Albacore tuna. Albacore tuna, sometimes referred to as white tuna in cans, is a well-liked option because of its mild flavor and adaptability to a range of recipes. Albacore is a heart-healthy option because it is usually smaller than its cousin, bluefin tuna, and is recognized for having a greater fat and omega-3 fatty acid content. But there's a hidden risk. Methylmercury, a poisonous substance that can worsen neurological system damage and impair health, is known to build in albacore tuna. Over time, methylmercury can accumulate in the body, with particular effects on the neurological system and brain. For instance, research indicates that eating just 6 ounces of albacore tuna once a week may raise blood mercury levels, particularly in older persons. Despite its widespread appeal, consumers should be aware of a few lesser-known facts about albacore tuna. First off, despite being praised for its omega-3 concentration, a 3-ounce portion of albacore tuna has roughly 1,000 milliliters of heart-healthy EPA and DHA. This same serving may include 0.3 to 0.5 micrograms of methylmercury, which is substantial when the FDA recommends 2.2 micrograms per day for a 154-pound adult. Additionally, because older persons are more prone to nerve injury, the effects of mercury are more noticeable in them. High exposure levels to mercury have been associated with memory issues and cognitive loss, which are especially concerning for the elderly. In summary, there are advantages to albacore tuna, but it is important to consider the hazards related to methylmercury. Increase the variety of seafood dishes you prepare. Increase your intake of low-mercury seafood, including sardines, shrimp, and salmon. These choices have a high omega-3 content, but a far lower chance of mercury exposure. For instance, a 3-ounce portion of salmon has roughly 700 milliliters of DHA and EPA and very little mercury. Select albacore tuna that is sustainably sourced and has a lower mercury concentration if you can't resist this delectable dish. Because they catch younger, smaller fish, companies that use pole fishing have a tendency to raise lower mercury tuna. Number 3. Tilapia. Freshwater fish like tilapia are frequently raised and eaten because of their tasty flavor and reasonable pricing. Scientifically speaking, tilapia's high ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids is one of its most significant characteristics. This is significant because diets heavy in omega-6 and poor in omega-3 can produce inflammation, which raises the risk of long-term health issues like high blood pressure and heart disease. For instance, per 100 grams of tilapia, there are roughly 1,500 milligrams of omega-6 and just 200 milligrams of omega-3. Your health may deteriorate as a result of this imbalance, particularly if you are predisposed to illnesses like arthritis or heart disease. In contrast to other well-known fish, such as salmon, which have a healthy ratio of these fats, tilapia's disproportionate ratio renders it less advantageous and may be dangerous. Did you know that the way tilapia are raised can have a big impact on how nutritious the fish are? A lot of farmed tilapia are kept in small spaces and fed a diet high in soy and grains, which raises the fish's omega-6 levels. Another surprising fact is that tilapia are frequently raised in nations with loose laws, which exposes the fish to pollutants and antibiotics. For instance, tilapia may absorb pollutants from the water in some farming techniques, resulting in increased levels of contamination in the fish you consume. Furthermore, tilapia is a less popular fish option than other varieties due to its low omega-3 fatty acid content, which is crucial for heart and brain health. According to one study, farm tilapia's omega-6 to omega-3 ratio can reach up to 11.1, which is significantly higher than the suggested ratio of 4:1 or less for the diet. If you want to reduce the health hazards that eating tilapia may pose, think about going for fish that has a better fatty acid profile. Omega-3 fatty acids, for instance, are more abundant in salmon and mackerel and are proven to lower inflammation and enhance heart function. When selecting fish, opt for wild-caught varieties instead than farmed ones, since they typically possess reduced pollutant levels and a more optimal ratio of omega-3 to omega-6. Make sure the tilapia you eat comes from reliable sources that follow stringent production guidelines. To help offset the high omega-6 levels, you may also balance your diet by include more omega-3 rich foods like flax seeds, walnuts, and chia seeds. The way that fish is cooked can also have an impact. Baking or grilling tilapia with herbs and spices, as opposed to frying it, can help preserve nutritional content while limiting negative consequences. Speaking of fish, are there any other foods that you would need to avoid because of high concentrations of dangerous compounds like mercury? Fish species that have elevated mercury levels. Because mercury may build up in the body over time and create major health issues, mercury in fish is a severe health concern. Fish with extended lifespans at the top of the food chain, such swordfish sharks and tilefish, are known to have high mercury concentrations. These fish have elevated levels of mercury in their systems as a result of absorbing the metal from the water and their food. For instance, a serving of swordfish may include up to 1.0 ppm of mercury, much beyond the safe level advised by health authorities. Unknown facts concerning mercury-filled fish include the possibility that exposure to mercury can exacerbate some medical issues, particularly in older persons. Prolonged exposure to mercury can exacerbate neurological disorders like Alzheimer's disease and have an impact on cardiovascular health by raising the chance of a heart attack. Mercury is particularly harmful because, in contrast to other dietary problems, its effects are cumulative and long-lasting. Additionally, because mercury can cross the placenta and harm the growing embryo, pregnant women should avoid fish that are rich in mercury. It is crucial to understand that cooking does not lessen the mercury content of fish flesh. First, fresh fish that isn't hazy or stained is what you should buy when purchasing fish. Fish should be bathed under running water. Then split the skin and remove the fish's internal organs, fins, and tail, as these portions frequently have the highest mercury concentrations. Don't worry, fishmongers normally take care of this. Soaking the fish for 30 to 1 hour in vinegar or lemon juice when you arrive home is another crucial step. A portion of the mercury will be broken down and removed by the acids in lemon and vinegar. The fish has to be fried after another wash. Instead of frying directly, cooks might utilize techniques like steaming, grilling, braising, or stewing. By cooking the fish thoroughly without using a lot of oil, these techniques will reduce the amount of mercury that is absorbed by the body. Additionally, people should avoid eating seafood that contains mercury too frequently, especially if they are elderly or pregnant. Fish like herring and salmon mackerel, which are found in freshwater environments, have a lower mercury concentration than marine fish. By taking these safety measures, people can eat fish that contains mercury without risk to their health. The final kind of fish is a snake-like creature with a long, flexible body that lacks a dorsal fin. It typically inhabits freshwater or brackish environments, swims quickly, and has sweet-tasting meat. Eel. Eels are long fish that are well known for having smooth skin and resembling snakes. Because of their capacity to absorb environmental pollutants through their skin and gills, eels are fascinating to scientists. Eels are a less common fish option than other kinds because of their high toxin absorption, which can seriously impair your health. In contrast to other fish species, fish frequently live in contaminated waters, which causes dangerous materials like mercury to accumulate in their bodies as PCBs, polychlorinated biphenyl. For instance, a study discovered that eels have a substantially greater mercury content than other popular fish, with up to 0.5 milligrams per kilogram. A lot of people are unaware of the unique role fish play in their ecology. To breed, they frequently travel thousands of miles from freshwater rivers to the sea. This amazing voyage emphasizes their significance in preserving ecological balance, while also increasing the likelihood that they may pick up additional poisons. But because they migrate and go through many environments, eels are more likely to absorb harmful substances. Moreover, eels possess the amazing capacity to regrow missing body parts, a quality uncommon in other fish species. Nevertheless, the health dangers presented by the poisons they accumulate are not lessened by this regenerating capacity. Knowing the toxicity levels of eels is crucial if you want to enhance your health and stay safe when consuming them. Selecting fish substitutes like salmon or sardines, which are less likely to accumulate toxins, might be a healthier option. If you do decide to eat eel, be sure the water it comes from is pure and uncontaminated. Frequent ingestion of eels, particularly those from contaminated locations, can result in mercury poisoning, which can cause cognitive decline and muscular weakness. A useful hint is to check local fish pollution alerts frequently and limit your eel consumption to once per month. Let's move on to another popular fish to eat, sardines, after discussing the possible disadvantages of eels. Sardines are little fish that are high in omega-3 fatty acids, calcium, and vitamin D. They are also very beneficial to your health. These nutrients lower inflammation, increase bone density, and promote heart health. Sardines do, however, come with considerations for individuals who are over 50. Particularly in elderly persons, its elevated purine content can raise uric acid levels and increase the risk of gout. Sardines also frequently have high sodium content, which aggravates illnesses like hypertension, which is common in the elderly and associated with heart disease and stroke. Experts advise consuming no more than 1,500 milligrams of salt per day. However, a single serving of sardines can easily exceed this limit with up to 350 milligrams. Seniors who want to lower their risk of heart disease should limit their sardine consumption to once a week and choose water-packed kinds to cut down on fat and calories. Consistently check labels for sodium levels and think about giving canned sardines a rinse. I sincerely appreciate you seeing. Please remember to subscribe to our channel for more health-related advice, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends if you liked it. Finally, there could be serious consequences if these straightforward yet effective health advice are disregarded. Ignoring them could result in major health problems that might be difficult for physicians to treat. Proactive action today is essential to preventing needless suffering down the road. Make informed decisions. Your health is in your hands. You can greatly enhance your general well-being by heeding these simple and useful suggestions. You may easily include these techniques into your everyday practice because they are simple to use and highly beneficial. Recall that you have two choices. Either make these easy adjustments to improve your health, or disregard them and run the risk of developing potentially uncontrollable health problems. We sincerely thank you for sticking with us through to the very end. We hope to see you in our next video. Bye.